The future does not originate from the present. This sounds crazy, obviously, but nonetheless is the truth. The future does not originate from the present. So then, where does the future originate from? Every frame of reference is the owner of its own slice in the block multiverse. Therefore, the way a frame of reference is feeling, and because the universe is made of mind, not a physical reality, is not made of atoms and molecules, is made of mind. Therefore, the way the frame of reference feels at any given time is where the future originates. If I feel good, then I will be navigating into my slice of the universe that belongs only to me in a solipsistic way. Will be like a boat within the multiverse ocean, will be navigating me to those corners of the multiverse where there is happy events taking place. If I feel bad, my slice of the universe, like a boat, will be navigating down into those portions of the multiverse where negative events and negative feelings inhabit. We don't need to control the present in a physical way, because the present is not physical. We normally think the present is physical, and then we think that the past is imagination and the future is imagination. So can you see the fallacy of the human disease? We think that the present is solid, but instantly it becomes the past and it becomes non-solid. And the future is non-solid and instantly materializes into solidity of the present for only a nanosecond, only to then turn into non-physical. This is nonsense. Don't you see the fallacy? Believing that the future is non-physical, which is correct, and believing that the past is non-physical, which is correct, but then believing that the present is physical. The human disease consists in believing that the present is made of physical reality, an external physical reality, while the past and the future are made of mind, even though the present is constantly being made out of future and out of past, and the present cannot be described because a nanosecond is too long. We're talking about a single frame. It would be a single frame within the block universe would be a Planck time in terms of science. It would be called a Planck time, which is so unimaginably small for human mind to comprehend. The important key point here is to understand that because the future and the past are made of mind, it's ridiculous to assume falsely that the present is not made of mind, but is made of some physical reality that we call, even though we've never seen it, and it cannot be observed, because the moment you stop observing it, it turns into probability waves, and it only exists when you observe it, which means actually it's made of mind. The future doesn't originate from the present. So therefore we don't need to control the present in a physical way. We don't need to work hard physically. We don't need to try to to do an effort to stress ourselves and get involved physically with the world, trying to change it in any way, because the only way we can control and change our experience is with the mind, because the experience is made of mind. I've seen this very, very clearly many times when I've taken psychedelics. Well, if it's DMT, it will take a couple of hours. After taking DMT, you will start to realize how easy the mind, even though it seems a solid external reality, suddenly everything can change very quickly, and you can see things and objects as real as the usual objects of our waking experience, but you can actually see objects and entities that should not be there. And if you increase the DMT dose, then your reality will change completely, will be completely replaced by a new reality. And that shows to me how fragile is this apparently solid physical so-called reality. Another example that comes to my mind, I remember clearly sometimes when I was younger, I used to go to the disco. I would drink the whiskey, and when I was really getting high with the alcohol, I would feel as if I had been swallowed into a parallel universe. I had completely changed the reality, although very similar, also quite different, because the moment I was lucid and happy and high, from that moment on, everybody seemed to change. Everybody seemed to be much nicer to me. All the girls used to be very, very positive and open-minded with me, while before they were completely ignoring me. And only at the time when I became lucid, every time I became lucid, it's as if everyone had changed towards me. After an hour or so, when the alcohol vibe would wear off, this wonderful parallel reality would wear off, and I would return back to the original one. So it is important to stop feeling bad, because when we are feeling bad, we are manifesting a reality that is bad. We are feeding a vice circle unto ourselves. We need to gain control of the boat that is our ownership of a slice of the multiverse, a solipsistic slice of the multiverse, so that when we control this boat, we can navigate to this infinite ocean of parallel universes. There are infinite parallel universes, but notice that from the frame of reference of the multiverse itself, from the frame of reference of oneness, you could say from the frame of reference of God, of the single mind that we all are, ultimately, also called the higher self. From this frame of reference, which dwells, as I said, within the light, and is therefore outside of space, and is therefore outside of time. From this unique frame of reference, there is total order. There is no randomness. There is no disorder, because what is disorder in one universe is offset by an excess of order in another universe. So that when we take into consideration all the number of infinite universes, they will all balance each other towards total perfect order. Lack of order, like the universe that we dwell in our experience, is a universe ridden with entropy. Entropy means disorder, hidden information that hides itself behind, underneath the surfaces of the apparent physical reality. Of oneness, there is no entropy, and also from the frame of reference of oneness, there is no free will, because everything is predetermined at the level of oneness. Everything is controlled by oneness. And even though we feel very strongly that we have free will as individuals, this free will is true from our frame of reference, and I can prove it to you by lifting my index finger up and down whenever I want. There is, however, a higher layer of truth dwelling within the realm of light, which contradicts our experience of free will and insists that actually free will is also an illusion, just as an external physical reality is an illusion, or just as entropy is an illusion. It's an illusion only from the frame of reference of oneness, of the totality of the multiverse. It's not an illusion from our frame of reference, it's very real. However, from a higher level of truth, from the highest possible level of truth, from the frame of reference of light, of, you could say, the frame of reference of Jesus, the absolute truth, not the relative truth, is contradicting our experience and telling us that actually we do not have free will. Actually, there is no disorder, there is no entropy. And actually, there is no physical external reality, there is only mind. And also, it's telling us that every possible history coexists simultaneously as a wave of probabilities that is non-rendered until it is observed. This is also what can be observed from the frame of reference of light. And this is very, very interesting, because that means that there is actually no absence. Absence is an illusion too. My child is not here, and people die every day, and people get sick every day. There is absence of love, there should be more love, and many other types of absence. But remember that this is only from our frame of reference. From the frame of reference of absolute truth, the frame of reference of light, your child who died, in my example, everybody who died, from the frame of reference of light, they are alive. And they are here, they are everywhere. They are because they exist in every possible history, simultaneously, at the same time.